This is Daebak K-Rambles, where a couple of friends review Korean dramas, and we're back for another episode. We're still in yesteryear, and I have with me my two good friends, Kathy and Laura from the MIA2K Podcast. How are you two?
Yay! Hi, Jess.
So happy to be here.
Yes, this is a bit of a reunion. We haven't seen each other since the PH1 concert a few weeks ago, and that was so much fun.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, and you guys went all over Orlando like the day after. It was like incredible. I don't know how you got to do everything.
It was literally like we weren't even in Orlando for 24 hours. we got to Orlando. We went to eat K-pop. We got ready for the concert. Went to the concert, and then the next day we left the hotel, like checked out, went to K-pop in USA, and drove back home. Like it was very methodical stops that we had to make. So we were not even in town for 24 hours.
We really weren't.
I honestly can't believe you did even that much. Sometimes I try and do two things on my list of, I want to go here, I want to go there, and I don't get to those places, and I'm of local, so, it is what it is. You guys did the deed, and it was awesome. You did the thing. And we're going to be reviewing Dream High today, and I really wanted you guys to come on this show and particular review this K-drama because it is very much influenced by the K-pop industry. And to be quite honest, this is where I learned a lot about the K-pop industry and the machine that it is and so on and so forth. So I was like, I have to you have a K-pop podcast. I was like, oh, perfect. And I've joked on and off about Dream High in multiple episodes because we've covered other shows from this director and this screenwriter and this cast. So I'm like, it's a long time coming for us to cover Dream High on the show. And I wanted you guys to share this with me. And I can't wait to hear your thoughts on it. I know. We're just laughing. If you know, you know. But if this is your first time listening, thank you so much for pressing play. Go ahead and subscribe on your favorite podcast app. We're on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and all of them, many more. And if you like us, please give us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. That goes such a long way for other listeners just like you to discover us. And come check us out on social media. When I say us, I just mean me because I run it by myself. But you can stay up to date on everything that I do, all of the shows that I'm watching, our latest episodes and reviews here at Daebak. And you can find us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok at Daebak Pod. And if you're a fan, the best thing you can do to be a fan is to become a patron. And it's such a great way for you to get involved, to show your support, and get so much extra content that I put out on there. You can check out the page on patreon.com/alwayscriticpod. And thank you to our patrons, Janet, Curtis, Bale, Cindy, CD, and Grace. You guys are wonderful. Thank you for being here. Okay, so I'm going to just get going. Stop me if you want to talk about anything in particular when it comes to some of these other shows that are going to crop up here. And some of them we've covered on the podcast. And I know that Laura has a deeper well of knowledge when it comes to K-dramas. But please, these people, especially the cast list and the producers, are all from the K-pop world. So, Kathy, if you want to jump in at any point and say your piece on somebody, feel free.
Okay, will do. Thank you so much for the plot.
Yes. Okay, perfect. So, the My Drama List synopsis, and this is extremely abbreviated. I just kept the first sentence of it. Dream High tells the story of 6 students at Kirin Art High School who work to achieve their dreams of becoming music stars in the Korean music industry. This show aired from January to February 2011. It is 16 episodes long, and the director is Eun Book. He's directed things like Dream High 2, which is a sequel to this, and we can talk a little bit about it later. School 2013, Secret Love, Descendants of the Sun, which is a massive show. We've covered it on the podcast. Guardian, the Lonely and Great God, aka Dokebi, a massive freaking show. Goblin, Mr. Sunshine, which we've also covered on the show. So these three bangers in a row. Sweet Home from 2020, which is a Netflix show, and he's directing all seasons. I think that's a multi-season K-drama. And then Jiri-san is his most recent work from 2021. The Dream High show was written by Park Hae-ryun, and she's written I Can Hear Your Voice, Pinocchio, Page Turner, While You Were Sleeping, which is a show that we've covered here, on the podcast, and Startup from 2020. Coincidentally, both of those shows stars Bae Suzy. And I'll cover her first as like, I guess she's like the leader of this ensemble cast. Bae Suzy plays Gohemi, and she, if you don't know, was a member of Miss A, and that is a K-pop group. She's been in Goo Family Book, Uncontrollably Fond, Vagabond, Anna, and she will be in this Netflix show called Duna later this year in 2023. I didn't mention Startup and While You Were Sleeping because we already just mentioned those, and we've covered those extensively. They have their own reviews, each of them, on the Daebak feed. So we have Bae Suzy. Did you guys have anything to say about Bae Suzy?
I mean, I'm actually more surprised about the director and writer. Like I hadn't realized that they had written and directed all of these really big shows. Yeah. And it's a little weird that Dream High is in there. Like
that transition from the pipeline from Dream High to Goblin is it's shocking for sure.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, I agree that it's like all of a sudden the career took like a hard left turn, and all of a sudden he's like an amazing director and someone, not just if you don't like the work, that's fine, but the dramas were hits. Like you can't deny like Descendants of the Sun, Guardian, Mr. Sunshine, Sweet Home. They all had a lot of buzz around them. They were great exports for Korea and the Hallyu Wave, and you know, they're household names, I should say.
It shows that we all have to start somewhere. That's what it shows to me.
Yes. We all have to start somewhere. And keep the dream alive, guys, because you could be on the level of Lee Young-bok, where you're just putting out hit after hit, and you're working with Netflix, and you're working with big name stars, and doing high budget. Like, Mr. Sunshine is one of the most high production budget K-dramas out there, and like a prestige television show. So it's incredible. It really is, to go from Dream High, which looks like it does, and you know, is what it is, but
and it's not just Dream High, but Dream High 2. Like that's the thing that's like a little okay. Sure, guy.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. For those who don't know, Dream High 2, I have not watched it, but I think you might have, Lauda.
I got into maybe a couple of episodes, and not even my love for JB could help me continue.
JB which is from GOT7.
Yeah.
In it. Yeah.
And like, I love him so much, but I couldn't. It was a lot.
It was awful. Like Dream High 2 is well known for being a terrible show, and like it was a major drop off from Dream High, the first one, which is what we're covering today. And it's such a shame, I guess. But at the same time, like Lee Young-bok rebounded and he's doing just fine. That's the director. And I think it's a little bit of a joke now. Like the Dream High versus Dream High 2 versus like, is Dream High a good show even? Like, you know, well, we can talk about it a bit more. But so we covered the director and the writer and Bae Suzy. We'll cover the rest of the 6 students. So we have Kim Soo-Hyun playing Song Sam-dong. And for those who don't know, we just covered My Love from the Star a couple of episodes ago, which is a major like Hallyu Wave hit. And then he was also in Moon Embracing the Sun, The Producers, Crash Landing on You, Cameo, It's Okay to Not Be Okay, which is a huge one as well. And then he was most recently in One Ordinary Day. I low-key love Kim Soo-Hyun, and I hope that his career kind of picks up the way it did, like the way it was almost 10 years ago when he was like at the top of his game. He had all of the like CF contracts. He was a top star. And I just don't know why his star waned necessarily. Like, I don't know. It's just me, I guess, that's wondering these things. But yeah. Now, we also have Taecyeon as Jungkook. And he, for those who don't know, he was a member of 2PM, is a member of 2PM. And he's made a pretty successful career as an actor because he's been in Bring It On Ghost, Save Me, Vincenzo, which was a huge kind of sort of breakout role for him. A lot of people didn't know necessarily who Tech was before Vincenzo. And then I think he was in most recently Secret Royal Inspector in Joy from 2021. And he's still working. He's still around. If you see his socials, he's like posting really cryptic like photos of like sets and like places where he is filming and stuff. And he's around. Like he's still a successful actor, and I think he's pretty bankable still. Not to mention, keep going for sure. What's up?
Oh, he just also signed with an agency here in the United States to make that jump.
Yes, I am hoping that pans out for him because I really do think that he is a bankable star. He's likable. He's very versatile. And I think he could do pretty well here in the West. I hope that he gets some chances. I remember, like, this is a kind of a tangent, but not really. When Jay Park signed with Rock Nation and how, like, that was supposed to be, like, this huge thing and he was going to make an official debut in the States and whatever because he signed with Rock Nation, which is Jay-Z's label and whatever. And, like, nothing really came of that. It just, like, came and went. And I hope that that's not the case for Tech.
They don't have the same problematic background, so hopefully that's not going to be the same case for both of them. You know,
Tech is very secretive. Every K-pop star is secretive of their lives and very protective of their privacy as much as they can be. But like, I don't know anything about Tech really. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, he hasn't. All we need to know is that he hasn't alienated like an entire group of people that feel attacked constantly and that just, you know, are not really ever going to move on from certain things that were said or done or whatever. So I think he has a really bright future with this move of signing to do work here. And we talked about it in our K-drama episode with you, Jess, that we were like, oh, you know, now that Park Seo-joon is going to do Marvels, who else do we think is going to really like break out in the West? And we mentioned Tech like as a possibility because he speaks English and everything. So it just seems like it's falling into place as it should. So let's hope for that.
Hoping and praying for the best for you, Tech, if you're listening for some reason. Okay, so then we have...
in his private time.
In his private time. Because he just listens to K-drama podcasts in his spare time. Okay, so to round out the cast, we have Ham Eun-jung, who plays Yoon Baek-hee, and she was a member of Tiara. And... she's been working, but she's really just done like weekend dramas and a handful of movies. Weekend dramas are high episode count. K-dramas and like, you know, sometimes over 100 episodes. And so she's been steadily working, but I don't think she's necessarily made just a giant impact on the K-drama industry as a whole. I don't think she's very memorable. And we have Woo Young as Jason. He's also a member of 2PM. And this is literally the only thing he's done in the K-drama world. His only acting credit ever is this one as Jason. And then to round out the cast, we have this little, I don't know if you've heard of Ijiun, aka IU. She plays Kim Pil-suk, and she's major solo star in Korea and worldwide. She's just amazing. I've called her the fairy princess or fairy goddess before in various episodes. She's been in shows like You Are the Best, The Producers, Moon Lovers, Scarlet Heart Rio, which we're covering later in the season. She's been in My Mister, which we did a couple of seasons ago. And, of course, Hotel de Luna, which is a pretty big show. What do you have anything to say about these three?
I understand why Woo Young did not act ever again.
I was going to say the same thing.
Oh,
It makes
Yeah.
sense.
So
It does. It does.
It makes
does. It really does.
And but just so you know, Jess, we haven't talked about this. Like Laura and I, for once, did not really talk about our thoughts and things before this
nice.
episode. So this is why we're laughing, because we are. Well, this might. Well, I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Don't worry. We're about to get into it because we've just come to the end of like our ensemble cast. Of course, there's adult characters, and caregivers, and teachers that are more veteran actors or people that you've seen in other shows more recently. But we're just gonna call it for now. I don't know who wants to go first, but what did you guys think of Dream High?
Laura has watched it twice, so I think she can go first.
Oh, okay, Laura, go.
So I watched it twice. And I personally have this like genre of K-dramas that I like that aren't very good, kind of really cringy, but I really enjoy them in their cringe. And Dream High is one of those. I think, in my opinion, what saves it, or like what the big difference between Dream High and Dream High 2 is the actors. Like, even though not all 6 are amazing actors, most of them were, and that's kind of what saves the drama. They sell this writing, this dialogue that is cringe-inducing, goosebumpy feeling, and they sell it. They give it like a nice touch where you're like, okay, this is really cringy, but I believe it. They cry really prettily. Like, it's just, I think what makes this drama is the actors. Not gonna lie though, watching it a second time, the cringe went up like 4 levels. And I found myself fast forwarding a lot of like scenes. So it was a little bit more painful the second time. This is definitely for me one of those that you only watch once because you're going through a hard time and you don't want to think about anything, and then never watch again. Like,
Got you. So who would you say were the best actors? Because you said like it's really based on the 6, ensemble cast members that we talked about, who are, for all intents and purposes, idols. Right. It's an idol drama. And which ones were the standouts for you?
I think, well, I mean, you could tell IU was gonna go places. Like,
IU.
You could tell. I liked how IU acted. I liked Soo-Hyun. How do you say his name?
Soo-Hyun. Kim Soo-Hyun.
Soo-Hyun.
Yeah.
I like Kim Soo-Hyun, and I like Taecyeon. I mean, you could tell it was his first, but
yeah.
He you could tell he was gonna become better at it. I'm not quite sure about Suzy.
Well, we'll talk about it. So, Kathy, what were your this was your first time watch of Dream High?
This was my first and my last. I will start there. So, okay. Before, I would have said that I pretty much like anything, because like people would argue about certain movies with me, and I can always see where people are coming from and kind of argue the devil's advocate side of why something was made, why it's good, or why whatever. I did not feel that way with Dream High. I was surprised. I was scared to come and share my opinions here because I feel like it's such a cult classic and such a, generational cultural impact, whatever, that I didn't want people to come for me. Not that I exist at all in any way, sort of anything, but it was really hard for me to finish this show. And I usually finish everything that I start with, like movies and stuff, just out of curiosity of how it's going to pan out. I had a really hard time with the writing. I had a really hard time with the acting. I had a really hard time with the filming. I had a really hard time finding redeeming things to say about the show. And I finished it exclusively because we were doing this episode with you, which we are so thankful that you invited us over virtually to talk about it. But in with all that said, I'm still grateful that now I know what it is, so I can be in the conversation whenever it comes up. To roast it, but I'll be in the conversation.
To roast it. Oh God. Okay. So, I mean, I kind of want to talk more about like what you disliked about the show. I don't know if we should
I
do
don't
this
think we
now.
have enough time. I don't think we
Okay.
have enough time.
You know what? I will say my thoughts, and
Go ahead.
then we
Go
can
for it.
circle back to some of the like general terribleness of the show.
Yeah.
So
And I'm sorry to any fans. I would just want to clarify. This is just an opinion. I am nobody. Don't worry about me. Like,
So-
that's it. So, go
yeah,
ahead, Jess.
again, like in every show, I guess we should have a disclaimer that these are our opinions. It's completely subjective. You don't need to
Yeah.
freak out about anything that we say. We're not the arbiters of taste here. Okay, like
Yeah.
we're just having fun. We're all here to have fun. So Dream High, I had watched it, I think in around 2012 or 2013. It was probably one of the first, like in the first 25 K-dramas that I had ever watched early on. And I was not too far removed from the time period that they had filmed it and from this era of K-pop, right? Like this is kind of when I started getting into K-pop. And I had heard like a couple of 2PM songs, and I had heard like one Miss A song, and I was like baby K-pop fan and just dipping my toes into it. And then I get to see Dream High, and I was like, this is a whole new world. Like this is nothing like the industry here in the States where you like it's all based on like luck or who you know, and there's not all this bureaucracy, I guess, or trainee process. I guess the trainee process really was like eye-opening for me.
Sure.
And even though there's like giant differences between how it's portrayed in Dream High and how it really is in the industry, for the most part, yes, they are taught in classes and having showcases and exhibitions and things that they're graded on. Like that is all pretty par for the course true of the K-pop industry and the trainee process. And I was like stunned out of my mind that this was true. Like for in all intents and purposes, it is true. Not that there's a Kirin High School that's outsourcing, trainees into the
Right.
companies, but it was very eye-opening for me. And I remember feeling a bit cringy about some things, and I was like, this isn't like the A++ writing. Like for some reason I was just like, I was still in my Boys Over Flowers era, right? So I was very forgiving of a lot of things and didn't necessarily feel that strongly about the puzzle pieces that make up a great drama, a great TV show, or a great film, or something like that. Something to that effect. Because I wasn't concerned necessarily with the sound mixing was horrendous.
Oh
and
my
why
God.
am I hearing
Oh
echoes?
my God.
Horrible.
The
Terrible.
sound.
Yeah.
Horrible.
Terrible sound mixing. The cinematography is like non-existent. It felt like they shot this on like a digital camera.
On a microwave.
Everything.
Yeah.
Everything was like overexposed and terrible, and like the actual editing of it, like the shots were too long in so many instances. I was like, why is this shot still continuing? The pacing of the dialogue was terrible. I was like, there's like beats here. It's awkward. Like this needs to be edited. This needs to be like toned, tightened up in the script. And I was very, on this watch, I was like, this is awful. Like, all of these puzzle pieces make up my opinion of the show, and I was like, this is terrible. But one thing that I didn't dislike about the show, one thing that stayed the same from my initial watch, was how much I admired the heart of the characters and this general message of follow your dreams, like do whatever you can, work hard, you'll achieve what you set out to do. Your ambitions are valid and all of this stuff. So like it was very preachy. Like even on this round I was like, this is the preachiest message, and they keep saying it over and over again. Music brings us together. Music is a universal language, and like all of this hokey like messaging, hit me as way more cringe this time. But at the end of the day, that's what people, I think, connect to in Dream High, is like this heart and this this feeling that, you know, they can do it. It's very aspirational, I think, for a lot of people, not just if you suddenly want to be a creative and want to get into the music industry or want to be a professional dancer or what have you. Like, it's kind of goes far beyond that.
Yeah.
And I think it might even dip into just the culture of Korea, right? Like, here, if we see a movie like, I don't know, like a Mission Impossible or something like that, like, that's very action heavy. That's very aspirational for a lot of people, where you're like, yeah, I can do this. I can beat the bad guy. I can save the world. Like, that's kind of embedded into like our DNA of like the Air Force One, get off my plane. Like, there's also like all of these other facets of like Americanism that's in the movies that we watch here in the West. And in Korea, this K-pop show that did very well when it aired and sort of launched all of these careers. Like, I feel like people have a lot of nostalgia and good feelings toward it because of the messaging, and not just because of the set dressing of it, not necessarily because they're drawing giant stars on their eyes and like that's trendy now. Like, it's
Sure.
if we're talking about the way that it's aged terribly in that respect. But you know, I think it's cute. I think it's feel good.
I agree with that sentiment of the cuteness and the message. And I understand why people like that and why people might gravitate towards a feel good thing of like, if you work hard, you will get the results that you're after kind of thing. I understand that. For me, I guess the problem lies with the fact that when we watch movies or listen to music or watch a K-drama, there's something about, we're all looking for that suspension of disbelief moment where you want to be transported to that moment and forget that like you are living in 2023 and, you know, whatever is happening in the world, wherever you are and geographically speaking. I was not able to do that because of all the other things that were happening at all times. Every time JYP came on the screen, suspension of disbelief over. Like, you know, like it was every time that I was trying to kind of just like give it a chance and get wrapped into the storyline, something would happen, either the sound mixing or the shots or the cinema, something that I was just like, why is this a thing? And I also, I mean, I think just to give it, I guess, a couple of positive spins here and there, the first 3 to 4 episodes are really badly shot, but it gets better. Like, the filming gets better after the 4th or 5th episode. Those kinds of things improve. And obviously the chemistry of the cast as a whole also improves as the show goes. And I have to say, Soo-Hyun's acting, like, there was like maybe 2 or 3 things that kept me alive while I was watching the show. One of them was Soo-Hyun's acting. Like, he is incredible. I started looking into all of his life, and like the usual obsession that kind of grows in me when I start liking someone from a show or from a like music or anything happened only with him. I already like Tech, so I kind of already know stuff about him. IU, same. But from this show, he was the only one that I was like, I want to know more, and I want to know what else has happened with him and what other works he's done, because I need to watch more of him. So I guess that's my thing. It's just the quality of the shoot and all the other elements that are usually there for either comedy or just keeping it light didn't really work for me. And that's my thing.
Yeah.
No suspension of disbelief for me.
Absolutely. You're absolutely right in hitting it on the head, especially with JYP in the show. How do I put this?
Girl, I have thoughts.
Let's freaking talk about it, because JYP, first of all, the drama is co-produced by Bae Young-jun's Key East and JYP of JYP Entertainment, Park Jin-young. And then he also acts as like the music director for like the large swaths of the show. Bae Young-jun, I don't know if you and I can have a face to go with that name.
That's my oppa for life. Obsessed with him. I needed more of him in the show. They took him away. He was like the only good thing that they had going for me, and they took him out.
So I forgot completely that they had this other dude come in, and he was like the principal and like chairman of this Kieran art school or whatever. And then he like completely takes himself off the playing board, and he's gone. You never see him again in the show.
Never.
This is the male lead from the iconic Winter Sonata drama. If you've seen that drama in that K-drama. So for him to be in the show, and then this was his first show in 3 years. So imagine not seeing this guy for like 3 years, and then all of a sudden he shows up in Dream High for like 4 or 5 episodes, and then just like fucks off.
Not even, bro. That's all the budget covered for. Honestly,
Yeah.
like it's giving that. It's giving. We had budget to bring this huge star for 2 episodes, and that's it.
Yeah.
Like,
so he was a co-producer on Dream High, and then JYP obviously was heavily involved. Bae, like the Winter Sonata guy or whatever, for lack of a better term, if you guys can't don't have a face, the Winter Sonata male lead guy, he was creative producer on Dream High. He provided the overall concept, the goals, the ideas, and then JYP came in and composed the music and choreographed the dance for the series. So
You could tell.
you can freaking tell that this is what happened. He's JYP, the influence that he had on the show behind the scenes, great. Not taking anything away from that. Him in front of the camera, I'm offended. To this day, the fact that he put himself in the drama, it's
Heavily.
awful.
It's
and
heavily. The fact that he just did a little mini tour in the States, it's like his delusion has not worn off that he can't do certain things that he really shouldn't try in the first place. But really, it's it felt at some point, and if he were more self-aware, which I don't think he is, based on the fact that he even did a show in New York and California, the fact that it almost felt like he was doing a caricature of himself, like a self-deprecating character that kind of played on the stereotypes that people had of him at the time, so it's like, oh, maybe he's in on the joke. No, it just, as the show evolved and as he did more things, and the amount of airtime and screen time that was dedicated to his dance sequence and his singing, it's like, mama, pull the plug, someone turn the camera off, please. It's not good.
It reeked of him being an extreme narcissist, and couldn't give the limelight to these kids who are his own a lot of them were his own trainees. He discovered them, or nurtured them or whatever, debuted them out of JYP Entertainment, and still he decides to be in the drama. And this was his acting debut. It wasn't like he was an established actor or anything. This was the first time you ever see JYP in a show.
Terrible.
Yeah, he said, coach put me in, and he put himself in, is what happened.
It's
and you can
embarrassing.
see a Taek and Woo-young and the rest of the actors, as much as they were trying to do good acting, they would break anytime he was on the screen, because they just could see the full of shitness just coming through. Their suspension of disbelief also was not working.
Right.
With this man on set.
Yeah.
It felt to me personally, I have now an obsession with understanding the behind the scenes and the inner workings of the K-pop industry, and knowing what I know now, and knowing what I know of JYP, and knowing, the mismanagement of the groups and his agency in general, to not name any group specifically, but most importantly, GOT7 in my heart. Seeing him on this show felt like he was on this kind of redemption tour and trying to portray himself, thinking that people would believe the thing as this good director, company CEO person that always wanted to look for the talent, and it doesn't matter the looks, all that matters is the hard work. And this is, and I'm just you cannot be more full of shit. Get off my TV right now. That was
something that came up
with.
That was something that came up in the comment section of a few TikToks that I posted, was that people were saying JYP is such a hypocrite. And I absolutely 100% get it, because if you watch the show, the way that his character is crafted is he's an advocate for the kids and for their talent. And it doesn't matter what you look like. It doesn't matter that Ayu's Pilsuk is overweight. It doesn't matter. She has the talent. She has the voice. She can make it in the industry. You shouldn't be trying to change these kids. They're good the way they are. And like all of that messaging that's tied into his character as being this like righteous, holier than thou person flies right in the face of everything that he stands for and has built under JYP Entertainment and all of the changes that he's made to his lineup of trainees and debutantes or whatever, all the groups that he's launched and the artists that he's nurtured and stuff like that. Sure, he's probably doing a lot of good, but yes, he's done a fuck ton of harm and has created that system that they're trying to rail against with his character in Dream High. Yep. So I can understand why people are upset, not necessarily that he's just a bad actor, the character's shoehorned into why is JYP in his own fucking show. The fact that he's also like spewing all of this revisionist nonsense is also deeply offensive.
Yeah,
I think.
Like we know who you are, and he was trying to sell this thing to us that he wasn't that, and it's just now even more offensive, like 10 plus years later, that it's only gotten worse. So.
Right.
And within the show, you could see who his favorites were, like the fact that he included Suzy. He included just those 2 members from 2 p.m. Like, you could tell that he was trying to sell specifically. Yeah. Mostly Suzy. But then, like, threw in some 2 p.m. members just to kind of, like, not look so bad, I guess.
It's a commercial for JYP Entertainment.
Literally.
And that's what's unnerving about the whole thing, is that you can't, like, divorce yourself from the concept of JYP's not just trying to rebrand himself only a few years into second gen K-pop, but he's also trying to introduce audiences and have sort of like a groundswell effect for these artists that he's launching that are just a few years into their career and might not be household names like they are now. Like I feel like Tech and Suzy and Kim Soo-Hyun, like all these people, and IU, like Donde Tu Deja IU, these are household names now. Maybe in part because of Dream High, but mostly because they're amazing. Like they have the talent, they have the giftings of someone that was going to go far in the first place. And I don't know if we should thank JYP necessarily or if we should still like shit on him, but like honestly, it is quite an experience to watch Dream High, knowing what you know now and knowing how their careers turned out. Everyone's careers.
I'm not going to go as far as thanking him. I'll say even a broken clock is right twice a day. And that's as far as I'm going to go with giving him any sort of credit for anything.
So I'm so glad that we talked about the JYP of it all.
Getting it out of the way so we can cleanse our palates after this.
Other things.
Yes, please.
Yeah. So when I mentioned Kim Soo-Hyun, he is the only member of the ensemble cast who was not an idol and still is not an idol. Never was part of a group or anything, but he did train for 3 months at JYP Entertainment in order to portray this role well and kind of hone in on his singing and dancing. So that's
very admirable.
Very admirable to go 3 months. I mean, I don't know if they put him through like the ringer necessarily, but I'm sure that it was difficult. A difficult thing. Do you guys have anything else to add? Because I have a little more fun facts about the show.
Go ahead.
No? Okay. So, like I said before, it was pretty. The show was popular, especially popular among teenagers, and the average viewership ratings were about 15.7% during its 2-month run. And I don't know if you got around to watching this. I didn't have time to watch the special episode 17.
I watched a chunk of it, unfortunately.
You did? Okay.
I couldn't bring myself to do it. Not the first time, not the second time.
JYP thought we needed to watch him dance in a red suit for a second time because the B-roll in the actual show was not enough. So
I couldn't.
We're making faces here, guys. Yeah, so the cast of the show performed in a special concert in Seoul, and that was aired the day after the series ended, and that's episode 17. I have, to this day, I don't think I've ever watched episodes, just clips here and there, but not.
It's not well produced. To whom surprise? Nobody's. It's not like, the games and stuff. There's awkwardness. It's not good. I watched like maybe 20 minutes of it because once the show ended, I was like, did it really end like this? Like, this is it? Like, there's no, like, nothing else? That's what you're gonna, like, whatever. I'm like, I sat through this. Like, I sat through it, and this is how you're going to freaking, like, pay me back kind of thing. So at some point, I was like, I can't. So I stopped. Yeah.
Okay, well, fair enough. I kind of had the same feeling where I was like, you know what,
that's enough.
Do I need to watch episode 17? No, I don't think I do.
You don't.
It's not required reading. But like I said, the show did pretty well. Like when it aired, and it won a bunch of KBS drama awards, like Best Supporting Actress for Lee Yoon-ji, Best New Actor and Popularity Award for Kim Soo-Hyun, Best New Actress for Bae Suzy.
Well, I will say the second reason. So the first thing that kept me alive was Soo-Hyun. The second thing was Eun-ji's acting. Like, I loved her. I hate who she became at the end of the show. She actually had like all the substance as like the evil stepmother teacher person, and then like I don't know when she became this like something good is happening and I'm just going to cry for 5 minutes for no absolute like reason, and the whole like clipping in the flower thing on her hair.
Oh yeah.
No, mama. Like, no.
Yeah.
What happened?
She was one of the teachers in the show. For those who don't know, she was teacher She. Mm-hmm. And she was like a freaking
badass. The baddest of all the baddies.
Yes.
Yeah.
And her hairstyle was like kind of like slightly before it was cool to do that like
Giving
hairstyle. Yeah.
Like Aeon Flux.
It's like Aeon Flux. Stop. Before Can I speak to your manager? She had this like cool cut.
Yeah.
Totally.
And she's been in so many shows. Like Princess Hours. She was Princess Hamyong. She's been in The King Two Hearts as a cameo. She's been in Revolutionary Love, The Third Charm, Extraordinary Attorney Woo as Jisoo. I don't remember that character. Do you guys remember that character?
I was looking into it too because I saw that Park Eun-min and she had like both been on Attorney Woo, and I was like, I don't remember her. It doesn't really ring a bell because I was like, wow, what a bad bitch. I need to watch more shows. She was the second person that I looked into that I wanted to see more of her outside of Soo-Hyun.
I think that if you watch her in Princess Hours, you'll enjoy her character. She's like a really strong, sweet princess, the complete opposite of her character here in Dream High. But I think she's wheelchair bound. If I'm
as
not
long
mistaken.
as it's like makes sense. I just want the character to make sense. You know
she makes sense in Princess Hours. I definitely liked her character. She's a pleasure in that. Yeah. So she won for what was it? Yeah, Best Supporting Actress, Best New Actress for Bae Suzy, Best Couple Award for Kim Soo-Hyun and Bae Suzy, and this is all the KBS Drama Awards. The show was nominated for a bunch more, including a bunch of Baeksang Awards. They did not win any Baeksang Awards, but they were nominated, which is a big deal in and of itself. The sequel, like I said, aired a year later with a different cast, starring Kang So-ra, GOT7's JB, and Jin Young, 2AM's Jinwoon, Tiara's Jiyeon, and Sistars Hyolyn, Ailey, and Park So-joon. Like, Park So-joon was in Dream High too.
We all gotta start somewhere.
Honestly.
Dream High was adapted into a Japanese stage musical, and speaking of musicals, they have announced that it's going to be a stage musical in Korea. It's supposed to open this year. I don't know if that's still happening, if they're working towards that, or if it's just going to be like, surprise, here it is. But yeah, it's quite a legacy that it has.
You know what I wondered while I watched it? Because the one thing that I did talk with Laura about is, like, she knows that I can't do cringe, and that and she knew that I wasn't going to like the show because of that. So what I wondered in a few of the moments of the show did have some solid just grounding moments there, is what if it had been done in 2022 with Love All Play treatment, like if it had been treated with that writing style, with that camera style, with that acting style, I don't think I would have had such a hard time watching it as you know what it was.
Right.
Again, it's just me, because clearly like it did well when it when it came out, and also I looked for other negative reviews because I felt very alone, and I was like, I feel like I'm the only person who's ever gonna say anything negative about this show, and I was like, I don't want to be canceled at this point in my life. And I really couldn't find any negative reviews. Like, I mean, I'm not gonna say I looked for hours, but I looked like just briefly.
Yeah.
And yeah, I couldn't find anything. But I really was thinking, if that show had been made today with the right budget, really, it's a problem, and the right people, it would have been better.
I think the people were right. Like, the actors were right. It was
Sure.
just they were at the very beginning of their career,
Right,
and
with more
JYP was
experience.
way too involved.
Right.
Oh
So
my
if you
God,
take
yeah.
away his cringiness and, like you said, give it a whole different like backup or like
Yeah,
thought
set of
process,
tools. Yeah.
it'd be pretty good.
Yeah.
I
agree.
think some people wanted in the comments on TikTok, people were like, I hope they do this with Stray Kids, like do a
No.
Dream High, like
Immediately
with Stray
no.
Kids.
Immediately, no.
No.
Please. No.
All right, I wanted to bring it up and see your reaction. Perfect. So you guys are like, hell no.
No.
Let our Lotte friends who do like the commercial acting keep Stray Kids, because they're doing great with those. I love that for them. They're great for that. They have the budget. They can do that.
Got you.
Yeah, it's not that Stray Kids can't act, just to be clear. I think that they can act. I just don't want K-drama heaviness, like cringy K-drama heaviness on them.
It
right
was
now.
like, to give an idea for people that are not gonna watch the show ever, there is an entire tvtropes.org article on the tropes that are featured in Dream High, which is
Bro.
pretty rare for them to do for a K-drama.
I
Like,
made a note about that. How many tropes? Like it was a
There were
bingo
so
card.
many.
It was
Yes.
a bingo card with the tropes.
I started scrolling through to see if I could like include any in the episode, but I was like, this is too many tropes to say on a single podcast episode. I was like, this is so many.
Meta's children, tsundere character.
It's not even more
Debt
like
collectors,
niche ones. Like niche ones put on a bus. I didn't know that was a trope. An in-universe example, Jungkook's politician dad aims to do this to him by sending
The
him out of the
politician
country.
dad,
Out of the country so that no one can find out he abandoned Jungkook and Smart. Like, that's a put on a bus trope is in here. Punch a wall trope, princess in rags trope. I'm telling you, it's endless. Master
It's
of
too
the mixed
much.
message
It was
trope.
entirely too much.
Love triangle trope. I mean, it's endless. So I might link that in the show notes in case anybody is interested in seeing every single trope that Dream High utilized throughout.
And also, really quickly,
go
it's
for it.
shot like a novela, like a Hispanic novela. Like when I started watching it, I was like, this is literal, like the TV that I used to watch up until like 2007, 2008.
100%.
Like Univision Telemundo novela style is the way that it's shot. So maybe you like that. So maybe you will like it.
Maybe you like it. I mean, I didn't like it. I didn't feel any type of way about it.
My parents would love it. They
Originally.
love this type of novela type that it like only airs around 4 p.m. or 7
was gonna
p.m.
say 2
Ooh,
p.m.
they love it. They love it.
Yeah, I didn't feel any type of way about it the first time I watched Dream High. This time I was like, this is unwatchable. But speaking of unwatchable, the last topic that I wanted to talk about before we give our scores and get into spoilers was Bae Suzy. What did you think of Bae Suzy's acting?
Personally, it wasn't bad, but it was just very, I mean, don't get me wrong. Taecyeon was also kind of one note, but he was, I love him, so it's fine.
Oh.
There's no real reason. But hers was very just one note throughout. And what I did appreciate is the way that she could form these really, really big tears
Oh
that
my
like
God.
rolled down her face. I was like, damn, girl, you hydrated. It's like really big tears. I mean, I'm not quite sure if this was her first one. I think it might be her first one. So you could just tell that they just didn't have a lot of experience.
This is indeed the first thing that Suzy has ever done, in her acting career.
all of them could cry really easily, and that's another note that was positive that I wrote. Like, whatever acting training they received or whatever trauma they've been to in their lives, like, I feel bad for them, because the ability to cry on cue, all of them, was extremely impressive to me. Because I'm like, I know actors are trained for this, but even this level of crying, I was very surprised. With her, I will tell you, and this is about the character, not about Suzy, so please no one come for me. What I wrote from episode 1 at the end was no redeeming qualities other than a sad story. Complete unlikable bitch. I hate her. Like, that kind of person who just, like, is entitled to, like, everyone give me my flowers just because I exist. Like, I don't like those characters at all. And the fact that at the end of the story, they try to make sense of it, of like, oh, she's just a clone of her dad and that's why she's the way she is,
Oh, true.
also doesn't math as a reason for being the way she was.
Okay.
As far as Susie's acting, it gave Kristen Stewart with like, oh, this is the face that I make when I'm sad and this is the face that I make when I'm happy and whatever. Like, they tried to make it comedic. But I wasn't really, even at the end when she had transformed and now she was like actually like allowing herself to feel things, it wasn't really there for me. So I was not a fan of her first acting job, but I'm looking forward to seeing what she's done more recently.
The only acting part where I was like, okay, I believe it, was not the only one, but one that's really stuck to me was, oh, but this is spoilers.
Okay, you know what? We'll
talk
say
about
that
it
for
later.
spoilers.
I'll
I will
talk
just
about
say
it
my
later.
general thoughts about. We'll jump right back into Suzy after spoilers. But my general thought on her acting in this was that it was atrocious. I thought she was atrocious, and like coming back to it after seeing other Suzy performances, I'm like, either she's improved or she's done a really good job of hiding how bad she is at acting by being in great dramas.
Because this
Drama's
was my
better than
first
she is.
time watching her, but I had heard so many good things about her. I think I also came in with pretty high expectations. So the shock and the fall was even harder for me when I watched the acting here. So, yeah.
And what was sad for me is that I could see glimpses of other characters and other acting performances that she's done since Dream High in Dream High. And I'm like, oh no, is it just because she's a bad actress and she's sort of like masking her inadequacies very well nowadays? I was like rethinking my entire opinion.
Yeah. I mean,
of
it's like
her.
inexperienced acting with terrible writing is not
Yeah.
a good formula. You
True.
know?
No,
True.
it's not.
She really didn't have a lot to work with to begin with because of
Exactly.
the bad
did.
writing. So it was just a bad,
Yeah.
yeah.
I feel
Mix.
bad. I felt terrible. But anyway, what would you give this show out of 5 soju bottles? Oh no.
Realistically,
Yeah, like just let it fly.
anything above a 2 is wrong. But just for like nostalgia, I guess, a 3. But like anything above a 2 is wrong, in my personal opinion. Sorry, guys. I actually do like it, but if I have to be like, I like the drama and like
What
this
would
is.
you have rated it the first time that you watched it without anything of these, conversations?
Oh, the first time I watched it, I knew it was bad, but again, I have this really, really
Niche
genre of movies or K-dramas that I really enjoy the cringe. Like, the cringier it is, the better. Like, sometimes on Netflix, I'll watch, like, the really cringy, like, teenage stuff that, like, everyone's like, ugh, and I'm like, oh, this is terrible. What am I doing? I question my whole life, but I can't stop watching it. And this is that. So it ranks high in my personal, but I know that it's not good.
You're like, yeah.
Does that make sense? Like,
Yeah.
I do understand that completely.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
For me, I had thought about if I wanted to get canceled by rating it a 1 or if I was going to give it a 2 just for
Who's
like,
gonna
Soo-Hyun.
cancel you?
I don't know, girl. I just, social media makes me think things and I'm just scared of people. But
Okay.
no, I just, honestly speaking, I was somewhere between a 1 and a 2. Like, I'm not going to give it a 1.5. I think I could solidly say, like, for me, it's a 1 out of 5. unwatchable. Would never recommend it to anyone that I like. I respect it. If I respect someone, I would never be like, you should watch Dream High. Like, no, go on. If you want to know what happened, go on Wikipedia. Don't even watch a clip because it's not worth it. Like clips of what? The dancing that was terrible.
Eesh.
No, you know,
Okay.
like no. So yeah, it's a 1 out of 5. I said what I said. Cancel me. Fuck it. Sorry.
Oh, wow. Okay, so for me, I think I'm going to give it a 2.5. If I think of it on a good day after listening to like a bunch of 2 p.m. songs, then maybe I'll give it a 3 out of 5 for nostalgia, pure nostalgia. Because even after I watched Dream High, and if you go back and listen to some other episodes on Daebak where I talk about Dream High briefly, I'm like, it's a joke. Like, it's a joke of a K-drama. It's not a true
Right.
K-drama. It is a tongue-in-cheek. These are idols. It's an idol drama before like it was cool to be an idol in a drama. You know what I'm saying? It is worst case scenario, I would say, because they're playing to their strengths. They're playing facsimiles of themselves, and you know, it's not heavy lifting at all for them. So maybe a 3 on a good day, but really it's like a 2.5.
Yeah.
2.5 out of 5. So
I'll give it 5 out of 5 bottles of soju in terms of I would have to drink 5 bottles to be able to watch it again.
You know,
Sorry.
just for So-Hyun's eyes, I'd give it a 5 out of 5.
Do you know what? Soo-Hyun gets a 5 out of 5 for me
He
as
gets
well.
a 10 out of 5.
my
He's
God.
perfection. Like,
He's
wow.
so good in this.
Wow.
Oh my god. All right, so we're just about done with the general section. We're gonna get into spoilers right after this.
Excuse me, 뭐라고?
아이, 괜찮아.
You know, I have no signal. Oh, sorry.
Swear, disgusting shit.
All right, we're on the other side of spoilers, so let's jump back to Suzy and what Lauda, you were talking about something that was going to be a bit of a spoiler. So why don't you tell us?
The only time that I believed her, and this is only because she was literally in her element, was when one of the exams came up and they had to emote or sing the song with like
The happy
emotion.
birthday one.
Yeah.
When she sang that, I
happy
believed her
birthday.
because
Same.
she's a singer and she's
Yeah.
literally been training to do this. So when she sang it, I was like, okay, like if you could do this for the rest of the like series, it'd be great. But it was just like a slight little moment where I was like,
Yeah.
okay, she has potential. But
Yeah.
it was just her doing her job. So
It was a pivotal moment for the character. That was a turning point for her. So it showed. Like, she did it well. She played well to it. Yeah, 100%.
yeah. But that's about
Wow.
it.
All right, fair.
And I mean, I'd have all the emotions looking at Tuck in the face like that, like singing. To
Well,
her.
Same.
Just saying.
I just sat
saying.
back in my chair like how do I put this? This show is maybe like a cross between Step Up, High School Musical, and Camp Rock. And the story's super obvious. The conflicts are very clear. This drama doesn't do anything terribly new, but it does tap into, like I said before, a lot of stuff that's positive about youth dramas or school dramas, and that it's all about feels, it's all about heart, and ultimately the story is about an underdog. It's an underdog story, and we can all root for underdogs. So I think in episode 1 they tease that there's this artist K who's going to perform at the Grammys, and he's a huge star. The first Korean artist to perform at the Grammys. And this is in 2018. That is the present day, I guess, that we're... And the rest of the show is a flashback, essentially.
Right,
but
right.
did any of you guess who artist K was?
When I first watched it, no. I mean, at the very end,
Oh,
you
yeah, when
realize who
watching
it
the
is,
show,
but no, I didn't.
Okay.
I thought
I
it was a
didn't-
group. I didn't think it
Oh,
was a
shut
solo
up.
person. So I at first, it was just giving a lot of like the current conversation with like South Korean talent and all the groups vying for American attention. So I thought it was a group like immediately from that. I didn't really like understand in the moment until the end that it was a solo person. Yeah.
I see. Okay. How sick of the pendant necklace did you get by the end of the show?
Girl. I wanted it. I was like, yo,
Where's the merch?
Can I get a pendant like to be lucky for X amount of time, please?
I thought it was a really ugly necklace too.
Disgusting.
It was.
Disgusting.
It looked like a, an Olympics logo from 1998 that was like stuck in a pendant form.
It looked like, now when kids, the commercial, like, your kid can draw an animal and we can bring it to life. Yes. It looked like a director asked his kid to do like a cute logo, and then they printed it, like 3D printed it.
It was terrible.
I also thought this was funny that in episode 1, they introduced Suzy as an opera singer.
Oh.
I was like, what?
Literally, I have a note that says, it's in Spanish. ¿Quién le cree a Suzy que está cantando ópera? Yo no, ni tampoco la mamá. Like, who would believe she's singing it? Oh my God, it was so bad.
It was bad. It was bad. And then she got accepted into Juilliard. Do you expect me to believe that?
So that's a question that I had watching this whole drama. How old are they supposed to be? Like, are they supposed to be just getting into high school? Are they at the end of high school?
So, yeah.
So, like, Juilliard, what, at 12? Like,
no, they have to be teenagers. I want to say like 17 or 18 years old, which is why they can be considered freshmen, because they still have a further 2 years before they're considered adults, and they're 20 years old and out of high school. So I guess she's 18 and going to Juilliard. I guess she doesn't need to finish her version of high school.
This is another of the suspension of disbelief issues that I had, because at the end also, when like, oh, your aunt got you a spot at Juilliard. Like,
oh, no.
Mama, that's not how this works. Like,
that was terrible.
That's what I'm saying. Like, the math wasn't mathing. The I's weren't dotted. The T's were not crossed. Like, it was impossible how they were getting from point A to point B at every point of the show.
Yeah. Yeah. The aunt, it's some aunt that we never see, is like going to pay for her tuition and like.
But you couldn't make the debt disappear so that this girl didn't have to like literally go into it's
very confusing overall.
Did you guys get excited with Kim Hyun-jung at the airport in episode 1? He's one of the members of Boys Over Flowers F4. Did you get excited?
Yeah, just because I really liked him, even though I hated the drama, but I just liked him. So when I saw him, I was like, okay, cute. Don't know why you're there, but cute. Okay, I see.
Yeah, yeah. Did you recognize him, Kathy?
I did not. No, man.
All right. That's fair. His career is basically done. I don't think he's done anything recently. But he was a famous alum of Kirin Arts High School, and that's how he was like shoehorned into the drama.
Yeah.
Very cool though. But Tech gets introduced. I thought Tech was so cool. Like from day one, I was like, Tech's character is such a cool dude. Like he's a bad boy archetype, but with a heart of gold. And he saves Suzy from these thugs who like want her to pay back her father's debt with her body because that's a thing, I guess. And what is it? He starts jumping over cars.
Yeah,
and in
the
slow
Kill
motion.
Bill Crazy 88 like scene with like 10 people coming at you, and you're like ka-cha, and got all of them in one go. Like, girl.
Yeah, he was doing
handsome.
parkour. Oh God. Some of the references though that they do for current K-pop stars or current artists are like way dated, because the debt collector dude who becomes like a ally later in the show,
Bestie.
he wants Suzy to pay back the debt by becoming a famous K-pop artist and debuting. He wants her to be famous like Lee Hyori. And I was like, whoa. I was like, whiplash, because that's a name that you don't even hear nowadays. Hyori, you know?
Dated.
Yeah, it's dated. It's dated. But I don't know about you guys, but there was some needle drops that like I did end up listening to after the show finished. And one of them happens in episode 2 where Woo Young is dancing outside of the audition hall. And the end Tech is watching him do this like weird ass like dance routine. And when I say weird, it's like dated as hell. Like that's not considered stellar dancing by today's standards. So he's like doing these like really like
That's
dated
the dude that gets
moves.
the red buzzer at American. What is it called?
Americans Got Talent.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
does not
and
go through.
he does not go through. But Woo Young is dancing to Neo's "One in a Million."
Yeah,
And I was
Loved
like,
it.
oh my God, I love this song.
Loved it.
Like, even today. Tech.
I know you
Oh,
usually
go
ask
ahead.
about the OST at the end of like
Yeah.
the recording, but
What's
it's
up?
just like
Talk
that was
to
the
me.
only thing that I was like, you know what? I'm gonna sit back and enjoy the fact that like the Star Wars OST is playing right now.
Like, why was there so much John Williams in this show?
Why
you know-
was there little Wayne 6'7" in the show? Like, I want to know. Like, Neo Oppa OST, I get it, okay? I get it.
Right. Neo, I get it.
Lil Wayne 6'7", Star Wars. I don't
It's
know.
cool.
I had a moment when I don't remember what episode this is, but Tech is on like a daytime talk show with his dad because the dad's trying to spin this story like, oh, he's not my biological son, he's my adopted son, whatever, because he's an asshole and a politician. And when he's saying this whole like sob story of how he adopted Tech's character, they're playing the main theme of Schindler's List.
Oh my
In the
God. I saw a
background.
comment about that, and I was like, what?
I was taken aback. I was so taken aback because you're telling me the like sad violin music that you choose to put behind this very fake sob story that the dad is giving on daytime television here in the show is Schindler's List. Are you kidding?
No.
Which is why I was saying, like, it's not just Star Wars John Williams, it's Schindler's List John Williams, too, in the show. I mean,
Yeah,
that was a lot.
Did they get the rights? Like, are they paying royalties? Are they
That's
gonna
what
get
I
sued?
wonder.
That was
I
my
don't
thing.
know.
That's what I
don't
wonder
know.
too.
I'm like, you can't use the Star Wars. I'm like, I know they used it for less than 10 seconds, but you can't use like Star
Yo,
Wars.
that's serious.
Really?
Yeah.
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 I don't know. You know
Maybe
what?
that's where all their money went.
to licensing these songs.
Yeah.
The John Williams stuff.
Instead of properly warming their actors. Jesus Christ. I was so pissed off. These people
and,
were freezing the whole time.
Let's
Swan
talk
Lake.
about that.
Swan
that
Lake
was
too.
Oh, Swan Lake. Yeah, that was another one
The
where they did a whole
freezing-
routine.
The freezing breath. My God.
And so what we're referring to, for those who haven't watched the show and are in the spoiler section, the entire show was shot during the winter. It's a winter show through and through. And they evidently had zero heating in any of the production. And so you see their breath throughout the show. Every actor, when they're breathing, when they're talking, you see their breath. And it's unnerving that the entire
Horrible.
production was in freezing temperatures.
Wearing
And they're
mini
dressing
skirts.
these, they're wearing mini skirts, they're wearing little clothing, little blazers, and that's it. Like,
The only one that was okay was IU because she had a fat suit for half the show.
Literally.
Everyone else
oh
was
my
struggling.
God.
Everyone else was struggling.
Let's talk about
Taecyeon's
IU.
ears were red.
Oh my God.
Red.
Throughout the
time.
whole
They were freezing.
show.
They
El
had more
pobre.
visible breath inside the building than in the outside scene.
Yeah.
It was wild. I was
Horrible.
like, I got bronchitis from watching the show.
Horrible.
Like, that was
Yeah.
so bad.
I wouldn't be surprised if all of them got super sick during
For
the
sure.
production.
For sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
That's like, it was terrible. It was very distracting as well. Like when you're
Very.
watching,
Very, very
you're like,
distracting.
I don't care what they're saying. That girl's freezing her ass off. Like,
Suspension of disbelief.
yeah.
Yeah.
So let's talk about IU in the fat suit.
Oh God.
When I originally watched the show, I had no idea who IU was. So when they started removing the fat suit and the prosthetics on her face and stuff, I was shocked at how beautiful this random like woman was. I was like, this girl is stunning and her voice is amazing. This was my introduction to IU. What did you guys feel about IU in the fat suit and her whole characterization and how the cast, or not cast, but how the other characters treated her throughout the show?
I hated every second of it.
Yeah.
Like, the fat suit was horribly made. Like, it wasn't a fat suit. They just took her leggings or whatever
like
she was
padding.
wearing them and then padded them, but they padded it like horrible. Like, it would not have gone well in like Drag Race. Like, it was just terrible.
It was like lumpy and like weird.
And then it stopped at the knees. They didn't go all the way up the thighs. So it was just like really, really like bulbous, like lower part of the leg,
Like
and then like
shins
super skinny thighs. And it was just it was I hated every second.
And
of
also,
it.
like, the first couple episodes, like, I think I guess the storyline was that she had started losing weight, even though she was, like, still eating a lot. But it was, like, they just took off the face prosthetics, but her body was the same.
Right.
And then the storyline, I mean, the only thing that I, like, didn't hate, and I was like, okay, props to them, was that, like, okay, she lost the weight after the 200 days or whatever. And then Jason was trying to, like, get something out of her, and she's like, actually, I just realized that you're trash, so like, bye.
Oh
like,
my God,
that was
I
the
like that
only
too.
thing that I was like, okay, girl
Yeah.
power, like,
Yeah.
you know,
I
that's
like
it.
that too.
Absolutely.
But the rest of the thing that it was like, 200 days of starving herself and ends up with hepatitis A because she wants to date a guy. Sure, let's promote that to the children.
Who wears a fedora like this over one eye? Oh God, I hated that fedora. Ugh.
And the bad English, like the bad pronunciation. I think I heard that Tech was helping him with his English pronunciation, but I
think
was
I
like,
texted Laura something about that. I'm like, the irony of like Tech actually speaking English, but they didn't put him on that role, but they put Woo-Young on that role, but
they
he
put
can't
Woo-Young.
speak anything. Cool, makes sense.
do you know, I didn't think much of the English the first time I watched it, of Jason's English, but on this watch, I was like, he's terrible. Like, it's
all you
terrible
can think
pronunciation.
about.
Yeah.
He's trying though.
There's
but
also
it's
no
not good.
backstory to him. Like, we're not ever
No.
led into the thing of why he
Where's he
started
from?
out basically
Yeah.
like only speaking English and no one could understand him, but he speaks perfect Korean and he has a sister named Julie. But like Jason and Julie, so like, do you have an American mom? Like, what is the t, sis? Like, we
Right.
never got it. We
Exactly.
never understood why.
They don't care. I mean,
That's my villain origin story. And we never knew why Jason
where-
was.
who is Jason? Tell us who he is.
Yeah.
What was I talking about? Oh, IU. So, IU in the fat suit. I think it's really sad because the show doesn't do such a good job of providing or refuting like
The
fat
stereotype.
phobia. The teachers are the ones that tell her like you got to lose weight, and what was the teacher she was saying like you should eat breakfast like a queen and lunch like a whatever.
I heard
and
that
then,
my whole life growing up, by the way.
yeah, it's a common
Every day of my life.
advice for people.
Yeah.
If you want to lose weight, like don't eat a large dinner, eat a large breakfast and whatever.
Yeah.
And I just feel like it's just perpetuating this terrible cycle of, self-loathing and self-hatred that she ends up talking briefly about towards the end of the show, where she was like, if I continue down this road trying to be an idol and trying to get famous, they're just going to dig up these photos of me when I was fat. And I was happy when I was fat. I loved my life when I was fat. I didn't hate myself in the slightest. And they're going to make me hate myself.
That was cute.
And I was like, that's a lot. Like, that's an incredibly nuanced take on, being overweight in an industry that just will not support that. And the way that she ends up at the end of the show, which is I don't know if you guys liked it or hated it or had no feelings toward it, but she ends up being like an elementary school or
Like a
preschool
kindergarten teacher. Yeah.
Yeah, and she's singing to the students. That's like her outlet. Her musical outlet is just to like sing to her little students. And she's gained back some weight. Not like how she was at the beginning with the prosthetics, but she's gained back some weight. And she's still semi-dating Jason, I guess.
Going on there.
I don't even know what's going on there. But I think the way that they handled the relationship between her and Jason turned out to be a plus for me because Jason ended up liking her when she was fat. And the photo that he had on his phone background was her with all of the prosthetics and when she was at her heaviest. And I was like, that's something.
That
right?
was the only American thing he had to offer.
Yeah.
The show.
Literally.
That's the only thing that makes sense about him.
Right. I wish they had written it better, I guess, because he'd rejected her when she confessed her feelings and she was still overweight. So I was like, I think that was a miss. I think he should have definitely done more, I guess, romantically when she was overweight than suddenly 200 days later and she starved herself to be IU. Now suddenly he wants the confession out of her.
I agree, but I don't know if I was the only one who like saw it this way. When he, like, 'cause she was the one that offered. She's like, give me 200 days and I'll lose the weight.
Yeah,
At
yeah.
that point, he knew that it was like the commercial, like, wasn't going to play. So I thought, like, he was like, okay, fine, lose the weight. But it wasn't for him. It was so that she could get the credit for the music.
Exactly. Yeah. It was for her
career. So I actually,
career.
like, liked it. Like, I liked it. It wasn't, he wasn't, I don't know if he wasn't expecting her to actually go through with it and, like, lose the weight. But I at least appreciated that he really had no selfish interest there. He just wanted her to get her flowers.
Yes,
so,
true. Absolutely. Yeah, he was sort of tricking her into losing weight so that she could further her career and get credit where she deserved credit because they were stealing her voice, like Singing in the Rain style. So I ended up liking Jason as a character. I thought he had, a lot of these characters had major growth throughout the series, and Jason's one of them. IU, I don't think she necessarily changed throughout the show. Her character sort of stayed the same. She was very sweet and just a lovely sort of character who loved herself if she was fat or skinny or whatever, which is powerful. I thought that was powerful.
That's what I said that was cute when you mentioned the speech. Like, the fact that she said, like, I was happy then, that's a powerful thing that I don't think we get to hear often on TV. Of people actually, like, being happy and accepting themselves when they're not at the weight that everyone wants them to be. That was
I think it would have been even more powerful in the long run if IU's appearance sort of changed over time, right? She still looks exactly like she did in the show. She still is sort of ageless. She's still super skinny. And I don't know if there's any truth to this. I remember hearing some people like on TikTok trying to do the IU diet, which is like a sweet potato and a carrot or something like that. It was like something wild. Like she basically doesn't eat.
That sounds about right.
And I was like, so then I'm like, this is like not that she necessarily needs to believe the message that she puts forth in any of the dramas or movies that she does, but it would be really nice if she just ate like a regular person and wasn't eating two sweet potatoes a day or whatever it is.
No idol eats like a normal person.
It's sad. It's so sad.
Like, literally, no idol eats like a normal person.
When we see, like, the biggest evidence is when any of them go to the military. Like, now, Jin just posted a picture, not to make everything about idols all the time, but he just posted a picture.
It's an idol drama.
And it's like, they're eating 3 times a day, and they look like a normal person. BTS is one of the idol groups that tends to talk about dieting and starving themselves more than other groups do. And most of them eat 1 meal a day, if at all. Like, they say specifically, like, today is no food day. Like, today I only had a protein shake. They're all, like, to get their chiseled jaw looks and everything, they don't eat like any normal person. So I'm not surprised that if you told me IU eats 3 little, like, things of grass, I would be like, yeah, that makes sense. I'm not surprised.
So who was the person that I was just talking to somebody about? Rain. So I was talking to somebody about Rain because Rain is still keeping up his insane physique. He's incredibly fit, and I think he still just eats one meal a day.
Yeah.
Eats
Code
one
Kunst
large meal a
also
day.
famously eats only one meal a day. The most of the people will talk about this openly because for them, eating disorders are normal.
Right.
And in that way. So,
terrible.
it's incredibly disheartening.
Kai talks about
good.
it a lot. He says to all his fans, he's like, you guys need to eat not like us because we don't eat correctly. If this wasn't my job, I would eat like a normal person. But because I chose this life, I have to eat the way that I have to maintain the body. Mm-hmm. But you guys shouldn't follow what we do because it's not good.
They did say that in the show. I think one of the teachers was like, part of this career, part of this job is maintaining this look, right? And if everyone could do it, then they would, but not everyone can do it. So that's why people respect and admire this sort of aspirational look that you project as a K-pop star. And I was like, okay, cool. So we're just going to starve people and create eating disorders left and right just to maintain prop up this industry. And I'm like this is all problematic, right? Like nothing is okay about idolizing these people that look like this when what do they have to do to create this? This isn't natural,
And I'm sure a lot of girls, especially because you mentioned earlier, they had a heavy demographic of teenagers watching this show back then.
Yeah.
Tried the diet that IU's character did because they kind of showed some sketches on TV of the food that she would eat in the morning and the afternoon and at night. I'm sure many girls tried it themselves just to get the same results kind of thing. And it's just not healthy for society as a whole, but Korea's not there yet.
Not yet.
Do you know, my sister has a friend or an acquaintance who is Asian, and she said that she was a trainee. And when my sister told me that, I was like, oh, fuck. Like, what was the group that she was possibly going to be in? And she was like, she said that she was going to be in SNSD, Girls' Generation. And I was like, you're fucking joking. So the reason why she quit was because they wanted her to get a bunch of plastic surgery. But on top of that, she is on the normal side as far as height. I guess she's like 5'4" or so. And they wanted her to get leg extension surgery, which is a major freaking surgery for her to get a little more height, for her to be taller. And she was like, no, I'm tapping out. Like, I'm not doing that. And I was like, are you kidding? Like, even I didn't think to that effect.
Oh, no,
they
go
would
that
go.
Far. Yeah.
So what other podcast episode can I talk about this crazy story? Right. But yeah, I was like,
that's insane.
Whatever we hear, nothing is really surprising when it comes to agencies and the lengths idols will go to. And I had seen recently some, I guess, Westernish interviewer went to some K-pop group, I don't know if they're trainees or what they are, like a girl group, to interview them at their dorms. And I don't know why they ended up opening the fridge, and it was only eggs and chicken. Eggs and chicken breast. They can't cheat because they don't have a way to cheat and get food. They genuinely don't. They're not afforded. They're not given because they live on the stipend of the company. So whatever they're allowed to buy, they don't really have money of their own. So eating is not a priority, and plastic surgery is literally for everyone. And they have to just do these crazy things because they get brainwashed into thinking that this is the only way that they'll succeed. Right. And that they have to do these things. So it's truly I don't even
disgusting.
know what the word is. But, yeah,
which
grotesque.
is why disgusting. Going back to our non-spoiler section, we were so pissed about JYP being so
the champion of the kids that should get all the awards based on their talent and nothing about looks and nothing about this. Yeah, shut up.
Get out.
Just in his current lineup of groups, ITZY.
Oh my god!
Every time I look at them, it just makes me my whole stomach and everything just starts to flip over and do a bunch of things because there's no way. There's no way.
there's
It's
zero
annoying.
like muscle, like no, well, body fat in general, but like these girls are like like skin on bone, like because it's a contrast to see Twice, because Twice actually like they look more normal, and they look like they have meat on them, and they are not seemingly at least like starving, but Itzy looks like they're starving, like
Oh, God.
the clavicles, like the hollowed like faces, it's not good. It's
hip,
not good.
the hip
The
bone,
hip
like you
padding
can
and
see it,
everything,
like you
everything.
can see it, like come. It's just you see that, and then you see what he was trying and is still trying to portray himself as. It's like, my guy, no,
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
no.
Okay, so let's talk about Kim Soo-Hyun and a little bit about his relationship with Suzy, because when we first meet Kim Soo-Hyun, he's literally wearing a fertilizer bag as a costume.
I never understood that.
His talent contest in a small hick town. And Susie's like the city girl. So now you have this trope of like the country boy and the city girl, but she lies to him outright to get him to come to Seoul. And it's so sad. I mean, how do I put it? I'm never on Susie's side. Like throughout the show, her character is just horrendous. And even when she sort of sobers up and learns to feel and learns how to be a human and learns how to have empathy and sympathy for others, I'm still like, yeah, I don't like this bitch. And I don't know how you guys felt about their relationship and the way that, the whole scene of him running after the bus and
When she
just
was
to
leaving.
ask when she was leaving his town, and he runs after the bus, and she tells him that she likes him. Oh, I like you. Come to Seoul.
This is the only time I'll defend her the entire time. She asked him, "What would it take? Like, what do you want me to say so you can come?" Like, if you fall for that, that's on you, Bo. Like, it's not her. Like,
What's sad is that he knows that she's lying, because he turns around and he's like clutching his chest, like as if he's just like completely stirred. And he goes, "Oh, she's she's so terrible. She's lying. I know she's lying to me." And you're immediately on his team, on his side, because he's so adorable, so lovable, so gullible. And he still goes to Seoul, even though his common sense is telling him this bitch is lying to him just to get him to go to Seoul and join the school.
I appreciated the fact that I think this is the only drama that I've seen where they take the main character's bitchiness to this level, because there has been other dramas where the main lead, the main female lead, is a little bit bitchy, but they have a lot of redeeming qualities. This one, she barely has any.
none. She has none.
So it's very
It's unique.
it's very unique. I do appreciate the fact that even when she changes, her core is still very much the same. There isn't really a very big 180, because that 180 would have been even less believable than like,
Right.
well, a lot of things are unbelievable here, but like that would have been just like, you guys need a break right now. Like, this is too much. So I do like the fact that even when she changes for the good, it's not that good still. 'Cause she's such a bitch. Like,
She's so terrible.
She's such a
so
bitch.
mean.
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did
she's
you
a
guys
bitch.
laugh though? She stays at his house
The pooping
with his
scene
mom.
while
the
singing?
pooping scene.
I hated it.
So she's like, I gotta go to the bathroom. They live in the middle of nowhere, and the mom's like, okay, Kim Soo-Hyun's character will take you. And she goes, why do I need somebody to go with me? And they're like, oh, the wild boars could come up on you and like wreck you. And she's like, what? There's a freaking outhouse, and it's, like we said, freezing in the middle of winter, so there's snow on the ground. He walks her to this outhouse, and she's poop shy, understandably. And I think she tells him, like, why don't you sing something for me? And he's like, no, why don't you sing? And she starts singing this song, Only Hope, from, I know it from A Walk to Remember. Do you guys remember that
No.
movie? Oh my God, that song.
It's just
is-
how to suspension of disbelief. How am I supposed to like understand and fathom that you can sing while you're
pooping.
literally pooping,
Yeah.
like
No.
pushing,
No,
mama?
And you're already poop shy. Like that's
Yeah.
not gonna work out.
it's not gonna work.
They have
It doesn't work.
phones. Like she could have just played something.
True.
Like I hate it. I don't like the toilet humor that a lot of K dramas
either.
use because it's not funny. It's cheap and unnecessary, to be quite honest.
You guys know, like, the first drama that I watched was Hwarang, and there's a lot of poop humor in that drama. And I remember texting Laura every time that I saw it. I'm like, I don't get it. Like, I don't get it. And again, I'm still less than 10 K dramas in to my K drama like experience. And every time I see it, I'm just like, but why?
I get
Like,
it. It's
it's not-
lowbrow. It's lowbrow.
It's a cultural thing,
Very.
but it just doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah. So they had this whole scene where Susie's pooping and she sings a song. I could not write this myself. Anyway,
One of my favorite things about Soo-Hyun too, also his relationship with his mom was really sweet, and when they
Real
spoke to
sweet.
each other, the Saturi, their dialect, oh my god, I
My
could
heart.
die. It was
It's real
so cute. He
'cause
did
he's
it
talking
so well.
in dialect the whole movie, the
The
whole
whole
show. And when
whole
he's
time.
with her, it's like heavier.
Also, Mr. Country Bumpkin can't doesn't know anything about life. Ends up in Japan speaking like in English to the like understanding the English. It's girl. How many things do you want me to like? How much do you want me to gaslight myself for me to think that this is actually like feasible? Any of this? Like,
I don't know the
bad.
answer.
It's bad. It's bad.
But Soo-Hyun ends up being artist K, right? By the end, he's the big artist that's performing at the Grammys, which that didn't look like the Grammys by any stretch, but okay,
not
more
even the
suspension of
KS
disbelief.
Dome. Yeah, no.
No. But I kind of like that he made it, even though they had this whole freaking medical drama with him and his progressive hearing loss and the tinnitus and all of that was like, I remember that being a huge deal, a huge reveal as well. When I first watched the show was like, they had this scene where he's watching Suzy and Tech kiss on the Ferris wheel, which was like, oh my God, what a blow. And then he like collapses and I'm like, what's going on? The start of the very next episode is him in the hospital receiving this diagnosis that he's got progressive hearing loss. And he's got to sort of shore up for eventual deafness. And I was like, oh my God. I like was really cut up about it because he's just getting going. He's just starting to train and sing and dance and all this stuff. And now he can't sing anymore. I mean, this is very old school K-drama. But
And then he has to go through all his fighting his demons thing and sing Creep or the Creep soundtrack comes on because of course Creep has to be a part of every piece of like legendary TV or if not, it's not legendary.
I love the fact that he cut his hair and got an earring, like a piercing. Bad boy.
Yeah.
He looked cute though, so I was okay with it.
I remember I made a note at some point because, he went through really, hard moments with that. And then he was, fine for 2 episodes and, he didn't have a hearing problem anymore. And then, later it would come back or it wouldn't. And then I'm like, there were entire videos on YouTube back when, I don't know, a bunch of YouTubers that I used to watch that they were doing singing challenges where singing with noise canceling things so I can't hear my own voice. You can't sing.
You cannot.
If you can't hear yourself.
No.
The unbelievableness of this is this too much.
All-time high.
This
all-time
too much.
Yeah. I mean, in 2012 or 13, I was like, I don't think that's true, but I just want to believe it. And then today, I rewatching it, I'm like, this is impossible. You can't. You just can't. You need to be able to hear yourself in order to sing. It's just, he can't just find. And then there was this thing where he was trying to learn perfect pitch. Mm-hmm. And they were like, you can do it. You can do it. I'm like, no, you can't do it.
Speaking of disbelief and just out there, the fact that we're supposed to accept and forgive Baekhy for throwing a pot and trying to murder her friend. Like, are you kidding me?
Assassination attempt.
There was a freaking homicide, almost near homicide, that happened, and we're okay with her character by the end of the show. We're like, you know what? It wasn't that bad. Like, this is a case of, it's a criminal case that they never sort of went into. Even the teacher Kang was like, we're not going to talk about like the murder that almost happened.
How did she notice she was missing the button? How did she fix it? It's
because Tech like found the button, and then she
no.
definitely had a missing button.
already fixed it though by the time.
Yeah,
like,
she fixed it by the time he confronted her, and then he was like, "Oh, I guess."
But again, I don't
whatever.
know. Like, how did she notice that the button went flying? How did she know to fix it or change her jacket or whatever? Like, the math is not mathing there.
It's a lot.
She was an A++ murderer, I guess, because she knew what to fix so that her alibi was okay, and Tech didn't suspect her anymore. But
also, how she starts with like the braids and things with like
she's matching. She's matching Bae Suzy's character
right,
to a
and
T.
then like the haircut, which actually suited her really well. And then when they go into like the showcase later, they add these horrid extensions.
Horrible.
That you can see like the hair. It looked like a mullet that was trying to like revive.
Yeah.
Oh no!
Because it's just two pelitos, like two little strands of hair. It's not even like It's terrible.
It wasn't like layers.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're going to do that, you have to put like multiple layers so that it isn't just like her real hair and then long extensions.
Again, the budget was limited.
Very limited. It looked awful. She looked terrible. She's also, talking about terrible, she starts dancing to, I think, Fly on the Wall by Miley Cyrus. There's a early episode. She's dancing to Fly on the Wall.
All of those dancing sequences and scenes were really bad. Like, I know all of them can dance and like they're talented, but the way that either the camera work or the way that they didn't have enough time to practice those dance sequences, it wasn't good, like, at all.
It wasn't like sharp. It wasn't clean choreo. It was very messy and very like they were trying to make up for it with some of the editing that they were doing. So it was like cutting back
which made it worse.
And yeah, it wasn't. For these being real idols, I didn't feel at all that they were dancing to the caliber that they should be.
It was giving like the So You Think You Can Dance contestant that like cannot dance and is still gonna audition, but it's just getting airtime because the show needs diversity or whatever, or like the butt of the joke. That's what it was giving.
There was a lot of butt of the joke, like meta hilarity that was happening throughout the show.
There was.
I think there was like a JYP song that they played, Don't Leave Me, early on. And they started playing, what was it? Like Genie by SNSD as well. They were dancing to that song outside of the chicken shop. Like, this is like current stuff. And if you didn't know who JYP was, you wouldn't get the needle drop of his 90s song. You know what I'm saying?
There was also a lot of like, if you know type of jokes about being a trainee, like the JYP test dance thing that they do with like the wave.
That was the only funny part of JYP being there. Like, the only time that I was like, okay, I would have been fine if you were here for this just one scene, but the rest of it, bye.
Because at that point, like they kind of showed Taecyeon a little bit, and he really could not hold his laughter.
Yeah,
because he was just like, this is my life right now.
Jess, you may not have seen this because this was more like K-pop content, but I think it came out last year. Like, Rain went to see Stray Kids. And he kind of talked about the backstory of that, of like JYP asked Rain to help him with like a choreography training program for trainees. And then he was the one that came up with this like wave thing. Yeah. And like every JYP trainee has to master that in order for them to be able to remain and be choreographed. Right. So that's why that's a big joke for like the idol community or whatever people in the JYP know.
I've heard of the wave. I don't think I've seen that Rain video though, so I definitely have to go back and watch that. But
yeah, it was
it's cute.
I mean, in 2012, did I know that that was a thing? No.
No, of course not. It's like Laura said. It's very much for the girlies that know, and the ones who don't, it's like shit out of luck.
Yeah.
Also,
Like,
oh, sorry. I was just going to talk
go
about
ahead.
another scene so you can finish the thought here.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say how, like, Jason wasn't at the actual showcase, and he still made the group.
Yes.
Like, I just... I have, like, a list
It
of
doesn't
things.
matter.
I have a
doesn't
list
matter.
of things of those
Yeah.
moments that I was like, I give up. I give up on trying to have, like, rational, logical, like, trains of thought here.
My favorite was when Bae also said, like, in the first episode when they're like, or was it the second episode when they decided they're gonna go to Kieran high school, when Bae like does a split and she's like, see, I could make it too. And it's like, okay, so you're gonna just do a split and
It's
that's
so
gonna get
cringy.
you.
And
Oh,
she never
so
did a split her whole time there. So the irony. of it.
True. That should have
Also-
come back around.
Also, let me tell you something. If like me being Suzy, right, and Tech goes to the real showcase, one thing is going and like supporting or whatever. If he performed there
He
and
performed
left me,
with her
blocked.
arch nemesis.
Blocked.
With
Done.
the arch nemesis, Becky.
Unforgivable. I don't
Guys,
care
he's
if
so
he's
good
like,
looking, I don't care.
Yeah, I don't know. He's like, oh, my dad would have like taken me to the U.S. Sir, you would have found your way back. I am done with you. That is treason. That is a
is
backstab.
treason.
Do you know,
No.
that is absolutely how I felt then and now on rewatch, that Tech did some like unforgivable like
Fully.
sins here.
Yeah, he
Fully.
did.
And not that anything was directly, it was not malicious, but he should know the meaning of these things, right? Performing with Becky, abandoning the team, debuting without them, even though he like was like, oh, let's promise to be on the same stage together and perform together, whatever. Like he just like completely went solo and all this stuff. So
Another text that I sent Laura while I was watching was, this entire show could have been one episode had they actually like texted each other and communicated.
oh, absolutely.
Like all you had to do
100%.
was like, hey, listen,
Communicate.
talk to you
Yeah.
later. Like my dad's about to kick me out of the country and kidnap me. Like, it's just
There's something so annoying about Tech's character when it comes to those like middle episodes where he's at odds with Suzy and the rest of the underdog kids in the regular prep class, because he's that guy that's like, let's talk. Like every time you see him, he's like, let's talk. Let's go here to talk. And I'm like, that is so freaking annoying. You ever had like a let's talk person in your life? It's like, there's nothing to talk about. Like, we're done.
no, thankfully.
Oh my God. I was so annoyed.
And also how they like debuted and then they're perfect and they're winning like music shows for 6 months and then they come back and they're like, guys, we can't graduate if we don't like win this
There's not
one
enough
contest.
credit hours. We don't have enough credit hours to graduate from this bogus school. So we have to go back and start taking classes again.
My,
Oh, God.
I just remembered, no, because like I just went back to like the other side of the story with the teacher, the dad, and the mom,
Oh,
and the
stop.
fact that this father left his two daughters in Korea
Susie's.
by themselves with his ex-wife's like. I don't. It's just.
This doesn't make any lick of sense. Is that
Nothing.
Susie's backstory is that her dad fucking fled the country and was trying to stage a comeback of his own and get back on his feet financially in the States. But he abandoned his two kids in Korea and was like, why don't you guys go stay not with family or some other like person that he knows well enough. He was like, why don't you stay with this man
Who owes me?
who supposedly
For-
seduced your mom and had an affair with your mom?
I don't know. It just doesn't make sense.
No.
What?
And you know, I still don't understand if they knew that she died or if they just thought that she like left them.
No. They knew that she got sick and died, but
Yeah.
they just didn't have this whole.
They were like,
hijinks.
oh, she left our dad, so like God punished her by like her getting sick and dying. Kind of thing.
Oh,
Like, it makes sense.
it's so bad.
Okay.
It's-
I understand
Also,
now.
my third and final reason to live during this show was Baby's Hyesung, the child character, the child actress.
Oh,
that
yes.
played her little sister.
Very cute.
That scene, like the fact of how much she loved Tech and like would kiss him every chance that she could. And that scene at the end where like she's holding, not at the end, but like when she's still little, she's holding Tech's hand and Soo-Hyun goes for it and she goes blah and like and knocks it out of the way. I was like, oh my queen. Like that little child was everything. So that was my third and final reason to live, and that
she was
helped me
very
through the show.
much a vibe.
The end scene was a little weird, though. A little
When
crazy.
she was a grown up and she was packing.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. Let's pause on that. Let's talk because I have a couple more things, and then we can get to the ending scene, and then we'll wrap this episode. So, you said in the general non-spoiler section, we talked about other 2 p.m. members that made an appearance in this show. And it's because there were these crazy cameos of like the other members. Nichkhun made his cameo dressed as like Romeo lying on the ground, presumably playing dead. And then they also had this score. He played it on his phone of Franco Zeffirelli's Romeo and Juliet. So that famous score was playing on his phone. And then I felt like the whole jingle that he was a part of, because that's when they stole IU's voice to like do this sing this jingle to sell, I think it was a cell phone or something.
Yeah.
Okay. That whole thing reminded me of like the Lollipop song from back in the day. Do you know the Lollipop song with
I recently heard about the lollipop thing, but I don't know what it is.
Me neither.
Okay. So in a nutshell, I'm actually like looking it up. Oh no, if I look up Lollipop, just gonna be Lil Wayne. That's not the right thing. Lollipop with Big Bang and 21. Okay.
Was it CL?
Yeah, so this is weird. So there's
think
this
it was
song
CL.
called Okay. Oh my god, there's
Sorry,
a whole
she was like
Wikipedia
on a
on it.
show and
Lollipop.
they were asking her like, oh, you know, people debuted in 2000 whatever, so like when they debuted, the iPhone this was out. So when you debuted,
Correct.
what was the phone? And she goes Lollipop, and I was like, I don't know, I'm not in a
Okay.
joke, so.
So this is the first paragraph of the Wikipedia. So it's legitimate information.
Sure.
So, okay. Lollipop is a song by Big Bang and 21, created to promote a cell phone by LG Scion. It interpolates a 1958 hit Lollipop written by Julius Dixon and Beverly Ross. The song achieved top spot on the various online charts. It was like super popular. And Lollipop was used to debut 21 unofficially, as it does not serve technically as their debut single. So then they followed that up with their official debut song Fire, which is, have you seen the music video though for Lollipop? Oh my God. Okay, so this was like a whole freaking thing. This is back in 2009. Right. They basically used this custom song, this custom jingle, so to speak, Lollipop, with Big Bang and 21 singing this song to promote this phone. And if you look at the music video, it's like a commercial for this phone, for this LG phone or whatever. This doesn't ring any bells at all.
No, we haven't seen it. Like, again, I only know that it's CL and 21 because I just watched the interview like 2 days ago where she mentioned it.
Okay, so that's what she's talking about, is
Got it.
this LG Scion phone or whatever, and Lollipop. I encourage you anyone listening, to look up the song Lollipop. And this part of this show, Dream High, where they are taking like this jingle and promoting a cell phone with 2 K-pop idols, essentially, is to a T what Lollipop was.
Got it.
Okay, wow.
You see, it's just for the girlies who know.
Yeah,
It's just
honestly.
for the girlies who know, I guess. Yeah. I guess we have to talk about the God of Dance
Oh God, no.
sequence with JYP in this red silk suit dancing to Michael Jackson's Billie Jean. No.
I definitely fast forward over that this time around. I couldn't.
I watched Judgingly. I don't know who this man thinks he is.
Right.
I couldn't.
That's my thing too, is like, he thinks he's hot shit.
He really, really, really does.
He does.
I'm telling
Like,
you,
for his
he did
whole
a whole concert in New York and LA where they ended up having to put the tickets on Groupon and giving them out for free just to be able to fill the venue somewhat. And he's out here like posting whenever his stupid song came out, the Groove Back song.
Yeah.
And he's like, gotta get with like the stupidest fucking choreo of all time. He like some people were like posting challenges actually like I don't know why, trying to get his attention. And then he like posted and he's like, here's a tutorial to help people like yourself. And like he actually thinks he is better than literally anyone. Like
It's terrible.
He's got a complex. For sure.
Yeah.
But in that same episode, the girl who stole IU's voice is like, who is that girl? I've never seen her around here before. It's IU. And Jason, she's like saying like, oh, just because you lose some weight doesn't mean you can debut. And he goes, well, you debuted and you're a talentless singer. So
he's like, if you're a 5-second singer or whatever. Yeah, that was a good burn. That was definitely a good burn.
Yeah,
I enjoyed your TikTok.
Oh my God, I love that burn so much. I thought it was A++. It's up there for me with Sing to Me Paolo. Just like one of the sickest burns in history. It's like so stupid. I have this weird list in my head. Okay. So
And you know when he said that, a couple of idols came into my mind
oh God.
that are.
Who were they? Name them.
Oh, I'm not gonna do that.
You're not going to name the talentless
Oh
singers?
no!
We can
I'm not
only
gonna
get one
do
of us
that.
canceled out of a time. we don't go for multiple.
But it
You know what
definitely brought some people to mind.
You know what I wrote down? This is just stupid, but I just saw it and it made me laugh. That Becky went showgirls with the pearl spilling thing, with the thumbtack in the shoe, and
Yeah.
all the other like nasty things that she did during the show. Like going back to your thing of like forgiving her for literal assassination attempts.
Right.
And no.
It's terrible.
No.
Both of those characters were unredeemable.
It's true.
Did you feel any type of way about the Dream High song?
Yeah.
No? Yes.
I mean, it's good for what it was, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not gonna
Okay.
play it, but
Maybe
it
I had a
didn't-
lot more nostalgia for it because when they started playing it again, I was like, "Oh my God, it's the Dream High song!" and got really excited about it.
nostalgia. Like
Yeah.
it was cute. Like it's better than the drama, I guess,
for sure.
Mm.
in terms of like quality and delivering what it did what it needed to do. The drama didn't. But
Wow.
sorry.
But last cameo I think I have here from 2 p.m. is the Chansung cameo, where he meets like the house Nuna in the snow and
Yeah.
walks her back to the house and like covers her head with a scarf, and she kisses him because she's drunk, and when she pulls back, it's actually like the nightclub ajashi.
Yeah. That was
So,
unfortunate.
I think I had a problem with it because there's an obvious large age gap between them.
yeah.
Between Chansung in 2011 and this lady.
I mean, she
plays
had many
Nuna.
problems, and alcoholism was one of them. So
Yeah.
True.
a
True,
whole other
true.
combo right
She
there.
was an alcoholic. Yeah, so that was the Chansung cameo.
There was also a cameo by some of the Super Junior guys in that
Yeah.
radio
Yes.
station.
Yoon Hyuk and stuff. They had like an interview show with with IU. Yeah.
I think a lot of my memories of Dream High are of them in the classroom learning different things, and one of them that I remembered vividly was the pitch test of where they sing, they sight read, and there's two of them like doing it at the same time, and they have to
Yeah.
harmonize and stuff, and I was like, that is super memorable, and I remembered that whole scene from when I had
And
originally watched Dream High.
The teacher who taught about like chords and things, like I thought that I was like, oh look, an actual educational moment. What a concept.
yeah.
Yeah.
So let's get into some endgame episodes because Becky gets sexually assaulted by the company president, and Tex saves her, and then he gets canceled, and there's this whole scandal because there's footage of him beating up this their company president. And I watched this, in 2012, 2013, like this was shot way before the Me Too movement, way before Weinstein and all the rest were exposed and sent to jail and stuff. But this is sad as shit, okay? Like, I thought this was really sad. And I think the only drawback to this storyline's inclusion is that it is meant to redeem Becky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what's sadder? That we went through Me Too on this side of the world, but Korea hasn't.
Correct.
And not just like women and girl groups, but boys and boy groups are also suffering heavily from like complete mismanagement, misconduct, and abuse. Some of
Right.
it sexual from their managers.
Yeah.
So that's really what is not good. Here.
I thought that it was ahead of its time, and it still comments heavily on the victim shaming that happens.
Yeah.
Right? They didn't want Becky to come forward. Yeah, those two teachers.
Those
Let's
two
talk
teachers that
about
are
them.
kind of irrelevant, but they basically give the viewer commentary the whole time of the
Correct.
show. They're like
Yeah.
a good narration for like a pulse check on what Korean people were like back then. And
Right.
a lot of it really hasn't changed.
Yes,
But
that's
they were
what's
really
sad.
like, you know, giving everyone the opinions. And I mean, in this case was Miss She, that she said it like more specifically because she was so attached to protecting Becky. But it was like, she has a scarlet letter now, like she won't be left alone, no one will believe her. And even it happened, they kind of played it out at the TV station of like, well, but you know, the rumor is that she was the one who seduced him. So yeah, it's very real still today, so that's unfortunate.
It's super unfortunate. And what's sad is that you can't say like, oh, things have changed.
Yeah, no.
No.
So it's very sad to me.
I think it was used to redeem both her and Tech, because like him selflessly basically throwing himself under the bus and throwing his dad and his campaign under the bus to like protect this girl's, you know, dignity and image.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a lot. But Teacher She has a great arc as well. Because she's like the principal's daughter, which was like a whole like K-drama reveal as well. But she started out as this very cold and calculating teacher. She's cutting her losses with students deemed unworthy or a lost cause. And she's the one who encouraged Becky to cheat to win the showcase solo. So over the course of the show, she's kind of learned the error of her ways and now subscribes to the same school of thinking as Teacher Kang. You know, you should help the kids, lift them up, encourage them, and not trample on their dreams. And their job isn't necessarily to be realistic, it's to be optimistic and to help them as much as they can.
Yeah.
And, you know, it was nice to see her go through her own arc and be so supportive of Becky during her time of need during the whole sexual harassment thing, or sexual assault scandal that broke, because she just simply told the truth, and just to get her Tech out of hot water here because he was getting lampooned completely.
I didn't like the extreme to which she took it, her transformation. Again, the whole like the flower clip on the top.
No, that was too cutesy.
But
That's a trope.
Yeah.
And like just her character, the infantilization and the Aikyo, you know, it was too far. Like the pendulum swung too like far to the other side. I understand why she ended up falling for Mr. Teacher Savior person and all of that, but she, in her defense, to when she was like evil at the beginning, she didn't say she was in favor of cheating, because she wasn't. She was okay with lying to an extent, and what she told Becky was like, this girl's lying, so don't feel bad about taking her spot. She didn't say go put a thumbtack in her shoe so she's like physically unable to do the thing. When Becky tried to like turn that on her and be like, you're the reason why now I don't feel anything when I try to murder people. Like, you know, no, Becky, that's not what she said. That's not what happened. Like you were fully a murderer before. Yeah. So yeah, that's
Absolutely.
conflated concepts over here.
One thing that I wanted to touch on about Suzy and Tech and Soo-Hyun, which is like their love triangle, is that they set up Tech as the male lead. You know, the person that she's going to end up with, because he's just this archetypal like bad boy, and they had all this history together. They met as children, and he's just so cool and you just feel like they're going to end up together. She likes him for sure at some points throughout the show, but Kim Soo-Hyun's character is set up as the second male lead, and you never feel necessarily that they're going to end up together because he's just so pitiful. He's not on the same playing level as Taek, and they don't have all of this childhood history together. And I was stunned the first time I watched Dream High that she ends up with Kim Soo-Hyun.
It's not until the photo card comes up that like we know exactly how she feels. Like I always knew she was confused. But and even Laura and I were talking just before, like when we got on Zoom to talk to you today. Like I just found out like 30 seconds ago that Taek was not the actual male lead. Like it didn't really register in the moment. I'm like, oh, so I was like, oh, nice. They ended up the show with like the second male lead, and it's like, oh no, he was never the second male lead. He was
set up as the male lead.
Correct.
I still contend to this day that they really wanted the audience to sort of root for Taek and
100%.
maybe not root for them, but think that they were going to end up together.
They were just trying to have a reveal.
Right. I was telling Kathy that this was the first series where I didn't go for the second male lead, which was Soo-Young's character. I always just really liked Taecyeon, even though he did a lot of terrible things.
Well,
You were
technically
gunning
did
for
because Taek is the second male lead at this point. So look at you.
In a sense, he is technically the second male lead because she doesn't end up with him.
Yeah.
She ends up with Soo-Hyun.
Look at that.
And when the cast, I saw it, like I realized on Google, when you look for the cast in order, it's Suzy and Soo-Hyun.
Yeah.
Like that is the male lead. So Laura, you're just being consistent with your tendencies.
Look at that.
Lara is consistent because she did gun for the second male lead, even though he's honestly, like, if you look at his characterization, it would anyone would think he was gonna end up with her. But so I was like stunned that she ended up with like this country kid who's talking in dialect and is going deaf and like has all of these like issues and confidence issues and things like that. Like Taek doesn't have like confidence issues at all. Like he's very much set as
delicious.
Yeah.
Also, him and Becky should have ended up together for all that he protected her and saved her. Honestly, at this point, I'm just thinking that. Not that I wanted it, but I'm just like, I mean, homie was writing for her harder than Kanye for Beyonce at this point. So I'm just saying, like, it was kind of, if they kept the show going, that would have ended up like happening at some point. I don't know.
You make a good case, though. You do make a good case. So let's talk about the time jump that happens. So whatever, they get like through and they sort of debut. They have a baby version of going viral because they did this flash mob thing and they were doing online PR so that they could sell this Dream High group. And then they had their official debut performance on TV finally when some of those PDs see the groundswell that's happening.
Only because the group dropped out, which was giving BTS before BTS, by the way.
Yes. A group dropped out and they're like, where are we going to find another group to replace them? And like Dream High crew comes through. So that was all fine and good. A little ahead of its time, I guess, because in 2011, I guess flash mobs weren't quite a thing like they were a few years later.
Nah, they were. Flash mobs.
I don't remember flash mobs until a few years later being like a thing.
I don't know. I feel like I saw a lot of flash mob content in college. So and that was
same.
2007 to 2011.
You know,
so,
same.
So I do think that flash mobs had a thing.
Maybe in
before.
Korea it wasn't.
Maybe
Like
that makes sense.
I don't know.
Yeah.
So then we have a time jump. I used the preschool or kindergarten teacher, and Becky is now a teacher at Kieran Art School. She's taking the place of teacher She, and she does like the same stunt with the thumbtacks thing.
Because she doesn't know originality if it hit her in the face. Correct. Makes sense.
Right. Like this just tracks for her character because she's plagiarized a song earlier in the show, and now she's like taking the same approach to teaching as teacher She. Taek is a famous artist. President Ma married the Nuna character and had a kid with her. And Kim Soo-Hyun is artist K, and he won a Grammy or whatever. I I think I have issues with just like the final scene, which is Kim Soo-Hyun and Suzy's character. She's trying to convince him to go to the States and sort of become a bigger star than if he had stayed in Korea. And she tells him a version of like the boys over flowers thing, which is, why don't you go and like improve on yourself and get famous and become a great man, and then I'll consider being with you. Even though she clearly like loves him already. And that's it. Like they have a repeat of the
Makes no sense.
bus scene where she's now running after the bus.
They tried to have like that full circle moment, but that episode was messy as hell with like the flashbacks and the forwards, and it was a little hard to understand. Not gonna lie.
Yeah,
it was. Yeah, I remember being foozled.
I still don't understand where Suzy's character ended. Like, was she like a famous idol? Did she go back to opera singing? I was just very confused.
It's unclear. I think it's ambiguous, and I don't know why they would make it so ambiguous. She was celebrating her 100th performance.
Concert, yeah.
Her 100th concert, and then she sings the dang Walk to Remember song again.
Yeah, in honor of Soo-Hyun, because his character is like, you know, living his best but also lonely. Because I guess like they didn't work out because they both focus on their careers.
It's weird.
It's frustrating because we shouldn't be guessing at it, you know.
And then IU's character didn't want to go Pilsuk to the thing because she didn't want to be photographed because now she had gained weight again.
Because she had gained back weight, and he was like, all right, fine. Like, I guess Netflix and chill.
Truly, 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 the only character that achieved her goal was Suzy's little sister.
Because Park Eun-bin,
literally the only one.
Park Eun-bin in this cameo as the little sister, and she kisses Taek on the cheek again.
Literally, she knew what she wanted.
Like, yeah, she knew what she wanted. She had marked her territory, and I mean, presumably it's been what, 7 years?
I think they said it was a 6-year jump. From the moment, like the last moment that was that time. I don't know though. Really
something around there. So I guess she's now a teenager. Park Eun-bin.
Yeah, it's so problematic.
It's so problematic
because what's that age gap? Like at least 10 years.
It's giving Wilmer and Lindsay, Wilmer and Mandy, Wilmer and all of them, Wilmer and Demi.
It's not good.
God.
It's not good.
It's not.
I love how Wilmer got stray bullets in this episode, and who else got stray bullets in this episode? It's like so many people.
All of them were directed. I'm sorry, they were not stray.
Oh man! All right, so the ending was a miss.
Completely.
And
terrible.
That's it. Like, we're at the end of the show. We're done.
Thank you.
Did you guys have anything else to add to this thing? Oh Lord.
I'm appreciative that I watched a really bad drama, because up until now I had been like, oh my God, maybe I just like everything and I don't have like a distinction or like a temperature check thing, but I do now. Now I know that I don't like certain things. So thank you.
You know, I wish that I could bestow like all of these years of like K-drama watching on other people, because sometimes the dramas nowadays are too good. People can't like really parse out if anything was not so great. And I started watching during this era of K-drama where like Dream High was very popular, and Dream High is not a very good show. It is passable
at best.
But is it like the best show ever? No. Is Camp Rock like the best movie ever?
No. There was a time where we could have like stomached it because of our age and everything.
Right.
That's what I'm saying.
Totally.
Is this feels like a step up, Save the Last Dance, High School Musical, Camp Rock type of movie. Type of show.
Yeah, what this show made me conclude was that I probably wouldn't have the best time watching K-dramas from before 2015. not to generalize, I'm sure there's great ones that I could probably go back to.
There are great ones.
Yeah,
But
they really are.
This is an experiment, right?
Totally.
Too. Also going back further than 2015, because so many people say they can't watch something pre 2015. I'm like, you could, okay, you can do it. Okay, there's some really great dramas out there, and there's some iconic dramas like Dream High that don't hold up. So
Right. And iconic doesn't necessarily mean good.
Right.
It's just
Right.
like, cultural reset for the time being or whatever. Yeah. Agreed.
So
Exactly.
I think that's it. I want to thank you guys for coming on the show, for watching Dream High in its entirety, and just going on this journey with me. I think it was very eye-opening to return to Dream High for both me and Laura, and it was probably, I don't want to say it was a time waster for you, Kathy, but
No,
I think
it was an eye-opening
educational at the very least, especially because you guys are so immersed in K-pop. Like, this is part of K-pop history too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I don't regret it. I don't. Like, as much as I have roasted it, I'm enjoying roasting it. And I always like to be part of the conversation. Like, when Game of Thrones was really big, like season 5, I wasn't watching Game of Thrones, and I just watched like the first episode of season 6 just to understand what people were talking about. So I have this like general FOMO of wanting to know and wanting to have context. So
Yeah.
now I have the context to Dream High. So I don't consider it a time waste at all.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, if you're listening online, you can find my girls, Kathy and Laura, on all of the socials at MIA2K Podcast, and listen to their podcast. If you loved K-pop or in any way, shape, or form love K-pop, listen to their show. It's amazing. They're super fun to listen to. And we got more concerts to see together, as a matter of fact. Like, we're still
do.
going.
I'll see
Yeah.
you not next week, but the week after.
Yeah, like a couple of weeks. Yeah, for more K-pop or R&B goodness. So
Yeah.
I want to thank you guys, and we're going to get out of here. We got more shows to watch, more music to listen to.
Thank you for having us, Jess. We really
Yes.
appreciate it.
Thank you guys.
Always
Thank
love
you so
collabing
much.
with you.